y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I will apologize now if the lighting is weird. These two videos, you will see this outfit twice. But these two videos are the first time I'm filming with like a fancy ring light. Like, I am a legit official YouTuber now. But as being a legit official YouTuber, I still know diddly about like actual good lighting. So if the lighting is all kinds of awful, I will find out when I edit because I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see nothing. But today we're going to be talking about the best of high-end slash pricey makeup. I feel like it's important to know what are like standout staples because there is so much that comes out. It's just left and right dropping, you know, and amidst all of that, like, you know, limited edition releases and new collections, there are certain things that I feel just end up standing the test of time. So today we're going to be talking about my personal favorites and what I consider to be the best of the best with honors, sir. I will be talking about non-limited edition products. These are permanent products. Y'all know your girl gets off on permanent products, especially new releases permanent products, because I used to buy in on that limited edition thing, but now I'm like, just stop. Limited edition does not mean what it used to. Nowadays, everything's limited edition. But with that being said, let's just go right on in. I tried to include kind of like a variety of things, so, you know, there could be a myriad of choices, but let's start off with eyeshadow. Now, what I am wearing on my face today is a collaboration of two of my absolute favorite palettes, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance and Soft Glam. Now, if they ever discontinue either of these, I'm going to be buying 5 because these are two of my absolute favorite and all be all palettes. Y'all know I was a lover of this one for an extended period of time. It is just a beautiful collection of reds and neutrals. This is like the beginning of the end for like red tone palettes being seen as neutrals. Y'all know the matte to shimmer ratio on this. It's only got 2 shimmers. I love that. I'm actually wearing Vermeer and today, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. The palette, the eyeshadows are a little fallouty. They got a little bit of powder in them, but the blendability and the pigmentation, it is just all kinds of wonderful. And then if you're wanting something a little bit even more neutral, but still absolutely gorgeous, you are gonna wanna go into the Soft Glam. I feel like these two palettes, I mean, they were all like, well, the subculture's the sister palette. No, it's not. Soft Glam is the ultimate sister companion palette to the Modern Renaissance. These are just two of my absolute favorite, dang diggity. I love the formula. I love the you know, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shimmers, but that's okay. When you're working them together, they're just absolutely beautiful. They're amazing on their own. I highly, definitely probably one of the top, because I always kind of put them together. I never say, oh, get Soft Glam or get Modern Renaissance, you know, ahead of each other. It's like they're both fantastic. Pick which color story or which one will work better for you and go with that one. Then if we're just committing to a straight up color story, one of my favorite formulas, the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blood Sugar Palette. Now, I did not jump on the bandwagon when this initially came out, and then when it had a restock, I bought it, and I was like, I think I hadn't decided yet how I felt about Jeffree's formula, and this was the palette that kind of established this formula as like just fantastic. I love this formula. I love this palette. Like the Modern Renaissance and the Soft Glam, there is not a shade in here I don't use. This is the Jeffree Star palette. If anyone, Burp Squad, if anyone comes up to me and is like, which Jeffree Star palette should I buy? This one. This one right here, because it's got the reds and the pinks and the purple, but you've also got the neutrals. The only shade I could do without is I wish that this right here, this white one, was a shimmer. The vapors are coming to get me. But I just absolutely love this palette. This is one of those like more pricey ones that I feel like is worth it because you get a crap ton of shadow, and I know we're all like, well, we're never gonna hit pan on anything. But the blendability, the quality, it's just the smoothness and the pigmentation and how easy they are are to work with. This is just one that just, no matter how other palettes that I keep adding to my collection, this one's just like, hey, floating to the top every time. Then if we're gonna talk a palette that's expensive, that is worth the money, worth the investment, y'all know I've talked about this a myriad of times at this point. This is the Viseart. I was a fan of the $80 palettes from Viseart. I've got like 4 or 5 of them, I think. And I love those. Those formulas are great. And then they decided to come out with this absolutely gorgeous, stunning, all matte, colorful palette. This is absolutely everything I can actually want in a palette. This is a palette that if you're wanting something colorful, I would recommend this beyond Jeffree Star. I would recommend it beyond any of the Norvina palettes. I would even recommend this beyond, God forgive me, God don't strike me down, the Colored Rain Vivid Pigments palette, because this formula, I don't know what they did to it, but this formula is peak absolute matte perfection. And to have that in crazy colors, and not only that, from going light to deepest, the lightest, the deepest ones, just as pigmented, just as blendable as their lighter counterparts, that is an achievement unlocked. I know it's pricey. I know it's a lot, but I hesitate to say, because I know, I mean, no, this is expensive. But this is like one of the expensive things. Like, I will tell you up straight up, I've tried Tatcha skincare and that's expensive. Like, you know, whatever, Jeffree Star's conspiracy, but this is absolutely phenomenal. I just, words cannot express the beauty of these greens, these blues, these reds and pinks. I love them. And if Viseart is smart and decides that it wants to come out with more, give me some purple, give me some more pinks, give me some more orange, you know, if they keep doing that and doing this with this brightly colored whateverness, I will keep buying them. Moving on from eyeshadow, but still in the palette category, 2 from Natasha Denona. This is the Bloom Blush and Glow and the Bronze and Glow palettes. Now, both of these were probably anti-hauled by me. I know this one was, and then y'all were like, girl, buy that shiz. And now this is like the face palette that I recommend to absolutely, I'm like, if you're gonna invest in a face palette, make it be this one. And y'all know I do not say that lightly, because I absolutely despise cream products. But these 2 cream products right here, I will dab this like no makeup does. I'll just take it and I'll dab it a little bit, whatever, a little bit. You know, you need just a touch, just a touchy. Heckin' pigmented, definition of heckin' pigmented. And then these, they work well with a blush, they work well with the finger. This is another one of those things where, you know, the formula has reached peak performance with this. And if she were to come out with a whole bunch of different, if she were like, I'm gonna make 10 of these in different colors, I would buy these and then declutter all my other blushes and only have this in my life. Words cannot tell you how much I love this and how much I'm a convert to whatever it is she's doing with these cream products. They're just so beautiful. They would actually look, could use that today and I'd have been popping. Then speaking of popping, I mean, y'all know your girl has struggled with contouring and figuring out how to, like, you know, become a chiseled Instagram goddess. Well, we haven't reached that point yet, but at least this palette has brought me one step closer. This blush and bronze powder, even if I were to, like, you know, all the other products aside, I would pay the amount of money this is just to have this powder, because whenever I try to contour or bronze or do any sort of definition to my face, I end up looking like a muddy milk chocolate mess. And this is like the absolute perfect shade. It is just the right amount of pigmentation where you can build it up, and it's difficult to go overboard on that first thing, which is usually what happens to me. I'm like, wee, oh, this, and I love it. Then has this like cream bit here, and this is absolutely stunning. I will admit, the like highlighter shade here, this is a little bit deep for me. But what I love about these 2 shades is I will like start off with this one, and then if I'm wanting a little bit more illumination, I can then top it off with the Glow Cream Base or the Super Glow. It's just a fantastic way to really get that like sun-kissed, ethereal. This is another like no makeup. Like I'll swipe on some mascara and I'll do a little diddly-do with this one to give myself a little bit of less deathness. And I am 110% good to go. This is again, she needs to make more of these, and if she can pop out 2 in 2019, I'd like to see her pop out 2 in 2020. That's something I would invest in. That's something I would review, especially considering I have something to compare them to. But if you want to invest in face palettes, these are the 2 face palettes that I would say, yes, they are worth the money. The quality, the look that you can get, they're just absolutely sublime. Now, this next product is a complexion product, and it's a little bit subjective because your girl, I have got normal to dry skin. So when it comes to a lot of my complexion products, I like to emphasize on the healthy glow hydration front, but 9 times out of 10 or 9.9 times out of 10, I'm using this primer. It's just so good. And now I do believe it's like all suitable for like dry and normal to dry, maybe even like that combo. I'm not sure about how it is going to be for someone who's oily. That's definitely something I would definitely look into reviews at. Go on to Sephora, type in looking for it through skin type. That's how I look at products. I compile all the normal to dry people and I'm like, okay. But I love this primer. It keeps my foundation all nice and dewy. It keeps it from breaking up, keeps it from moving around. It is just an absolutely fantastic product. Then again, going on the normal dry skin front, like I said, if people have oily or different, I'm not sure how these products are gonna do. I'm just telling you how I like them with my skin type. But this is the Josie Maran Vibrancy Argan Oil Foundation Fluid. Now this is pricey. I want to say this is like $48, but this is so good. This is like a light to medium coverage dry skin person's haven foundation because it just goes on so delicate and smooth. I'd use a beauty blender and you don't need a lot with this foundation. And it doesn't emphasize dryness. We're not emphasizing texture. We're not emphasizing pores. It's one of those like your skin but better foundations, which I absolutely love because my skin, I'm on the skincare front, but you know, we can always use a little bit of extra help. But this is one for someone with dry skin. I'd be like, it's expensive, but it's totally worth it. Every time I use this foundation after I've been using another foundation, I'm like, why haven't I been using this every day of my life? Because it just looks so good on your skin. Okay, we gotta talk blush. And currently I've got like 3 favorite formulas in the high-end category. The Natasha Denona Blush Duo Formula. Now the only thing I don't like about these is the fact that you get the color and then you get this like highlighty shade, and like out of most of them, the highlighty shade is a repeat in like multiple compacts. So I feel like for the price, maybe you could have included, you know, different complementy highlighty tones other than just including the same one over and over again. But that being said, this blush formula is amazing. I'm wearing one of them on my cheeks today. They're just so effortless. They're a blush formula that forgives, that smooths pores, that lifts and illuminates. You know, you got the matte side, but it's a matte that isn't flat. You know, and they have the matte ones, but they also have illuminating ones. Yes, you know that's my jam. And then they have like the matte and the illuminating ones, and they're all like, even the ones that are like crazy. Like this was the one when I bought these, and this was the one that I first put on my cheeks because I'm like earthy orange, yes. And I put it on my cheeks and I was like, oh, is this what a perfect blush formula looks like? Pretty dingity dang close. So the only thing that I have object to is the fact that, you know, you get the same highlighty shade in most of them, but these are just, oh my goodness, they're so easy to work with, and they're just so nice on the skin. Like I said, it's a very forgiving blush. It's a very just, you know, once again, you know, your face but better. But if we're gonna talk about your face but better, we gotta talk about the soap blush. These are the Cover FX Monochromatic Shimmer Shine Matte something blush duos. This one here is in pink. Ooh. I love it. Every time I talk about a blush, y'all know, y'all have seen it. I'm like, this is this. And I'm like, that would have looked bomb diggity. I said that one was Pink Dahlia. And then this one here is in Warm Honey, which is probably one of my most used. This one and the Hibiscus one are probably the ones I reach for the most. Although there's also Soft Peach. Anyway, these are great. These are fantastic price point. I believe they're $38, which is pretty on par with blush high-end blush prices, but you're essentially getting 3 blushes because you got the matte side, then you got the shimmer side. Hot shingles in my area, you say. And usually what I do is I just swirl it a little bit together, but you have the option of going matte, which is, you know, like the Natasha Denona. It's matte, but it's not like, I keep saying it's not flat. You still have dimension to your face. It's like sculpting and beautiful, and just, it's a beautiful level of pigmentation. The packaging is all kinds of nice and sturdy and compact. This is definitely a blush formula that I recommend. All of these are like the best of the best in my opinion. So if y'all need blush recommendation, highlight recommend, these are the things I'm gonna tell you to buy. And you all know we cannot talk blush without discuss. I feel like this is the only product from Too Faced that I have consistently talked about, because I'm like, on their eyeshadows, you know, their blush, yeah, I'm like, on their highlight, on their lipstick, you know, but these are amazing. If you like a shimmery to shiny, satiny to maybe potentially glittery blush, these are for you. And they also, oh, that smells so good. This is the watermelon one. It smells like watermelon Jolly Ranchers, which is always an okay in my book. And then probably my most used red blush is this one, which is Cherry Blush. Anytime I'm like, all right, I want to go very red and just, you know, this is the one I reach for. And I just love, 9 times out of 10, I'm just sweeping them back and forth and getting a mixture of both, and just, you're getting blush, you're getting illumination all in one swipe. And they have a myriad of colors. I feel like this one and the pomegranate one, and some of them are like deep person friendly. Then they've got some lighter shades. I love these. The aesthetic, the formula, the shimmer, the shine, the highlightiness. This is something, probably one of the only things from Too Faced that I'm like, yes, this is good, this is great. They hit it a home run with this. Because y'all know Too Faced is a little bit, they're not so good. They're doing a lot of pop flies instead of home runs. And of course, we have to talk about highlighter, because highlighter is life. And one of highlighter life formulas is Ofra. I didn't get into this highlighter because this was, you know, I was like, it's an influencer brand and I'm not influenced and brainwashed. And then the highlighter person in me was like, you know, just try it. This highlighter was like the gateway drug to wanting all of them. This one specifically is in Star Island, which is like, I mean, it's amazing because you're like, okay, there's a little bit of use. I mean, the amount that I used this thing, you'd think I'd have hit pan art, but you only need a titchy bit. Or you can just use a crap ton of it, because that's what I do. Titchy bit be darned. But this formula, this baked gel to powder, it is beyond stunning. It is perfection. It is cha-cha-cha-cha, and then some. This highlighter comes back for seconds. God created this, and he said, you're not amazing enough yet. And this highlighter got back in line and got blessed a little bit more. I just absolutely love this so much. All the colors, everything, Pillow Talk, Glazed Donut, Glow Goals, Rodeo Drive, Space Nine, Cloud, pick any of them, pick all of them. You know, they're just, formula is pure perfection. Another pure perfection formula. Y'all know Natasha Denona does not have my favorite eyeshadow palettes, but her Complexion products have never steered me wrong. And these are the Super Glow Duochrome highlighters. This one is in light medium. I also have like fair light, and I have the deep one because it's like this beautiful bronzy gold. I use that and I mix it with other ones. But this formula is, it's like, people are like, ooh, her eyeshadows. I'm like, why aren't we talking about this shiz? Because this shiz is the bomb. It's just so, well, this is another one where you're like, it kind of looks used. And I know for a fact I've used and abused the shit out of this thing, you know, and you're just like, that's when you know, you're like, wow, you know, we're always like buying new makeup and it's like, I don't need to buy new makeup because we don't run out of it like kind of like we think we will. But this is like, it's this, you know, you can start off, you use just a little bit and soft. And with the Ofra ones, it's very difficult to go soft and subtle. You're like, do. Okay, now I'm a drag queen. But with this one, you can start off just a little bit soft and diffuse, and then you build it up, and then you've got cheekbones just like all out into the everness. Like every time I'm like, you know, don't invest in the eye, well, do whatever you want. But I'm like, forget the eyeshadows, her face products, her blushes, and her highlighters. They're just so, she needs to take this and make more shades because she's only got 3 shades of this, and I'm like, that is a crime. Okay, let's have some complexion products. This one here, Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy Set. Everyone lost their mind, and rightly so. This is a beautiful complexion saving, healthy glow end to your makeup routine. The only thing I will say about this is you got to be real like, because if you don't press down real quick, you'll get like little spurts of water drops that aren't like all effervescent. So you do gotta be just like a little bit quick. But what this does is really deliver a beautifully radiant, healthy, you know, glow from within finish. You know, I oftentimes use this with I'm using a foundation that's a bit more high coverage, a bit more less dewy, and I'll pop a little bit of this on and be like, oh look, I'm popping again. I just absolutely love this spray. It was definitely worth all the hype, and this is one of my, once again, my dry holy grails. You know, when I'm feeling a little cracky, I'm feeling a little bit cracky, this will come and save the day. Another product that I absolutely love that was one of those things that like you didn't try it at first because you're like, how can it be that good? It's super expensive, whatever. But the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. This is amazing. One of my top 3 setting powders. I absolutely love this, which is, it's always so funny because you're like, wow, look at it. It's powder. You're just like, how amazing could that possibly be? But this is a beautiful setting powder. No matter what concealer I'm using, it always helps to make it just look that much better. It doesn't add any kind of texture. It doesn't add any kind of dryness. It just kind of gives you this veil of like soft diffused coverage without completely destroying your complexion. But this is just something that, once again, you know, you're like, how can it be, you know, it's so expensive, how can it be all that? And then you try it and you're like, yeah, I guess it is all that. This one and the Milk Makeup one, which is somewhere because I used it today. And look how nice my under eyes look. But both of those are ones that I would highly, highly recommend if you were looking to invest in a face powder. And it's definitely an investment, you know, price-wise, but you're gonna be using this for a long time. It took me like 3 months of constant use to use up a mini. So you get a lot of product in here, and so, yeah. I like this. I'm actually gonna stop it right there just because we're already at a lot of minutes and I don't want this to be like 50 million whatevers. I could definitely do a second part of this. There are just so many things that are like, yes, these are amazing, they're fantastic, you know, and knowing what's worth the money is so important because makeup, it's very super subjective, so there is that. But, you know, getting good, solid reviews on things that exist rather than constantly getting reviews on new things that are released is really important because not everyone's gonna want to be going around and buying all that limited edition shiz. So I just thought that this would be a good way to kind of, you know, introduce some more, you know, some more content onto my channel. There is that. But also a lot of y'all are like, you know, I want to hear about tried and trues. I want to hear about, you know, stuff that already exists in your collection that are things that you absolutely love that aren't new releases that you would recommend. So I would absolutely love to hear what y'all have to say about the products I talked about. Let me know what some of your like best of high-end makeup is because, you know, we're always looking, we're always just coupled together, you know, what's good, what's bad, you know? But definitely let me know, you know, all kinds of things like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely let me know if you would like a part 2, 3, 4, 5, 2800. Let me know down below. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!